Chosen one, pause in this moment, for your presence before these words is touching a longing you have kept deeply hidden within your heart for a very long time. Amid countless sounds competing to pull you away, an endless stream of images, and all the things that have exhausted your mind, you stopped here. You may think it was merely a small movement of your hand, but in that very instant, a place of memory quietly began to tremble. I, Michael, do not want you to run hastily from the emotion that has appeared. Nor do I want you to turn it into a frightening sign or an unfounded promise. I only want you to sit still for a moment, breathe more slowly, and honestly look at what you have always carried. The longing for someone who was once deeply important. A connection that never fully came to an end, or words you never had the chance to speak. Before time carried that person away, you know who that person is, without needing me to speak their name. It may be someone who once made you feel seen during lonely seasons, someone whose voice still echoes through your memories whenever you pass a familiar place, or someone whose image suddenly returns when you are completely unprepared. Sometimes you see them in your sleep and awaken feeling that the room has become wider, quieter, and more empty. Your hand may instinctively search for a presence that was once very near, only for you to quickly withdraw because you are afraid of touching the old sorrow again. I understand this. I know you have tried to appear strong, to continue working, caring for others, and smiling as though everything were already well. But certain forms of longing do not disappear merely because you refuse to mention them. They remain quietly, not to make you suffer forever, but to remind you that you once loved with all the sincerity you possessed. I have not come to tell you that every image appearing in a dream is a prediction, nor do I want you to believe that anything appearing on a screen has the authority to define what is happening in your life. What is sacred does not force you through statements that make you panic about missing your only opportunity. The truth is gentler than that. Perhaps today it was your longing itself that caused you to stop and look at the part of you that has not yet healed. Perhaps your heart needs permission to name what was lost, what became distant, or what never received a clear ending. When you continually run from longing, it will follow you into every quiet moment. But when you turn toward it, place your hand upon your chest and admit that you still remember, still grieve, and still carry unanswered questions, that longing begins to change. It no longer remains a locked door trapping you within the past, but gradually becomes a path leading you back toward gratitude and peace. The person you remember may no longer be beside you in the way you once desired. Perhaps they moved far away, chose a different path, or a distance appeared between you that words could not easily cross. Whatever the circumstance, you do not need to blame yourself for still remembering. Sincere affection is not a switch you can turn off whenever you choose. Yet I also want you to distinguish between honoring a connection and allowing the past to continue controlling the present. You can treasure what once existed without returning to a place that wounded you. You can miss someone without turning every coincidence into a sign that they are about to return. You can be grateful for what you learned while continuing forward with steady steps. Healing does not demand that you forget. It simply helps you remember without being torn apart inside. If this person is still part of your life, but the two of you have become distant, allow wisdom to guide you instead of impulsive longing. Do not send a message merely because loneliness becomes overwhelming one evening. Ask yourself whether that connection is founded upon respect, honesty, and safety. If something needs to be said, speak with maturity. Do not require the other person to fill the emptiness within you, and do not use old memories to pull them back. A sincere message may open the way toward healing, but only when both people are willing to stand in truth. If that person repeatedly wounded you, violated your boundaries, or returned only when they needed something, then missing them is not a reason to restore their access. I remain beside you, not only in moments of reunion, but also within the strength that enables you to close a door peacefully. If the person you love has left this world, allow yourself to remember them through the most beautiful things. You do not need to chase vague signs in order to prove that love still exists. What they planted in your life has become part of the way you care, forgive, work, and strengthen others. Something they once said may still help you rise. A small habit they practiced may still bring warmth to your home. A lesson they left behind may continue protecting you from harmful choices. This is how love remains with you, not through threatening messages on a screen, but through the goodness engraved upon the person you have become. When you live more kindly because you were once loved by them, that connection has not been erased by time. I know there are things you wish you had done differently. You wish you had called one more time, stayed a little longer, apologized sooner, or refused to let pride keep both of you silent for so long. But, my beloved, do not use the understanding you possess today to condemn the person you were yesterday. At that time, you could only act according to what you knew, the strength you possessed, and the degree of maturity you had reached. Perhaps you made mistakes, but your mistakes do not make you unworthy of peace. Take responsibility for what belongs to you, receive the lesson you need, and lay down everything else. Regret is useful, only when it helps you love more wisely in the present. If it does nothing but cause you to punish yourself, then you have turned the past into a room without windows. The message for you today is not that someone is certainly trying to contact you through mysterious signs. What I want you to recognize is that your own heart is calling you back towards something that has not been cared for. Perhaps you need to write down words you never spoke, even if you never send them to anyone. Perhaps you need to forgive yourself or accept that an answer will never arrive in the form you hoped for. Perhaps you need to call a loved one who is still beside you, because this longing is reminding you not to postpone love any longer. Do not care only for those who have gone, while forgetting to hold the hands of those who are present. Do not wait until time becomes memory before speaking a gentle word. The most sacred thing you can do with longing is to transform it into care today. Therefore, remain for one more breath, not because you will lose a blessing if you leave, but because you deserve to listen to yourself. Speak the name of the person you miss within your heart, and offer them gratitude, forgiveness, or a farewell you have held back for too long. Then gently return to the life waiting for you. Open the window, drink some water, look at the light outside, and remember that you are still here to continue loving. I, Michael, will not use your longing to keep you trapped in the past. I will stand beside you as you carry that memory forward, so that what once brought you to tears may gradually become a source of tenderness that helps you understand others. The person you love may have left an empty place behind, but that emptiness is not the ending of your life. It is where you learn to cherish what is fragile. Speak what must be spoken while there is still time. and live each day with a love that no longer delays. You are carrying a longing too deep to be explained through ordinary words, and today I have not come to make you forget the one who left, but to help you understand that true love does not disappear merely because separation has occurred. Some people walk through this life carrying an emptiness no one else can see. They still smile, work, and answer that they are fine. But when night falls and every sound begins to fade, the pain returns like an old door opening by itself in the silence. I know you have repeatedly wondered why you still cannot let go, why one small memory can shake your heart, and why one name, scent, song, or familiar road is enough to carry you back into days that have passed. My beloved, this does not mean that you are weak. It simply shows that you once loved with all the sincerity you possessed. This place was created for people like you, people who are not searching for noise, but simply need words that touch the place they have hidden most carefully. Not everyone understands pain without a visible form, longing that cannot be laid down, or questions that receive no answer from this world. There are things you cannot tell your family because you fear they will worry, things you cannot tell your friends because they have already listened so many times, and things you cannot even say to yourself because merely naming the emotion causes tears to rise. Therefore, every word I send to you is not intended to keep you inside sadness, nor to make you dependent upon an outside voice. I only want to open a quiet space where you are permitted to be honest about what is in your heart, without shame, explanation, or the need to pretend that you are strong. Now pause for a moment. Breathe in slowly. Become aware of where you are sitting. Feel your feet touching the ground, and notice your breath moving through your chest and returning in a peaceful rhythm. Do not try to force the emotion away. Do not demand that you become well immediately. Ask yourself one simple but truthful question. When was the last time you allowed yourself to remember them without fighting against the memory? I am not speaking of a moment when you glanced at a photograph and quickly looked away, nor of sadness carefully contained so that no one would become uncomfortable. I am speaking of the true pain that comes when the hour is late, the room is completely still, there is nothing left to distract you, and you are forced to face the truth that this person is no longer beside you as they once were. Such moments may make you believe you are moving backward, as though every effort toward healing has been meaningless. But no, my beloved, healing does not travel in a straight line. There will be days when your heart feels light and you believe you are able to move forward, only for one unexpected memory to bring back the pain, as though it were the first time. This does not erase what you have overcome. It only reveals that love still carries a deep imprint within you. I want you to stop blaming yourself for remembering. No schedule requires you to forget after a certain number of months or years. You can continue living while keeping them within a tender place in your memory. You can laugh again without betraying the love you once shared. You can welcome new joy without making them any less important. Your pain is not evidence of weakness. It is the mark of how deeply you once gave your affection. People hurt this much only when a genuine bond once existed. You cared about every small detail, every habit, every sentence, and every moment when that person was tired or joyful. When they left, those small things did not disappear immediately. They remained within the way you remember, within everything you instinctively wish you could tell them, and within the moments when you turn your head as though they might still be there. I do not want you to treat your longing as an enemy. Allow it to become a quiet stream that passes through you and continues onward, rather than a locked door that prevents you from leaving. I am Michael, and through these words of comfort, I stand as a guardian. At the boundary between what you can see and what you can only perceive through faith, I have not come to force you to believe things that leave you confused, but to tell you that the love you gave was not meaningless. Not one tear you shed through longing was without value. Not one silent prayer was forgotten. Not one time you softly called their name in the darkness was empty of tenderness. You can trust that true love always leaves an echo, and that echo is not easily erased by time. Perhaps you have worried that you did not say enough, did not hold them longer, did not apologize sooner, or were not beside them at an important moment. Perhaps your heart still carries an unspoken sentence, an explanation that was never given, or words of love trapped inside silence. I know these things can become a very heavy burden, but my beloved, do not allow remorse to turn your love into punishment. You did what you could with the understanding and strength available to you at that time. No one passes through separation without wishing for one more day, one more conversation, or one more opportunity to do better. Regret often accompanies loss, but it is not the whole truth about the relationship you shared. If that person could see you now through the eyes of mercy, they would not want you to continue punishing yourself. They would not want their name to become the reason you refuse every remaining joy. Neither would they want their memory to become a cord that keeps you forever bound to the most painful place. The most beautiful thing you can do is not remain in endless sorrow, but live in such a way that the love you once received continues spreading outward. Treat others more gently. Speak words of love while you still can. Do not delay forgiveness. Hold your loved ones a little longer. Live more fully, not in order to forget them, but so that the goodness they left within you may continue to remain present. I know why these words need to reach you today. It is not because heaven wants to frighten you through urgency, but because you have kept too much inside for too long. You tried to appear normal so that you would not trouble anyone. You avoided speaking of them because you were afraid you might fall apart. You passed by your longing again and again without daring to stop. But now you are strong enough to listen to what your heart has always wanted to say. You do not need to forget. You only need to learn how to remember without destroying yourself. You do not need to cut love away. You only need to allow love to change its form, moving from an outward presence into a tender part of the way you live. Therefore, allow yourself to cry if the tears wish to fall. Write a letter if there are still words left unsaid. Place your hand upon your chest and remind yourself that you are still here, still breathing, and still permitted to continue. When longing returns, do not drive it away in fear. Tell it that you understand where it came from, then gently allow it to pass. I stand beside you within this peace, not to pull you back into the past, but to guide you through memory without causing you to lose the present. The person you loved left an imprint within you, and that imprint can become light rather than remaining only a wound. Continue forward, my beloved. Love does not end. It merely learns a new way to remain, my beloved. Someone is quietly moving closer to your life, not with loud footsteps, but through a deep inner urging they cannot yet name. This person has come close enough to sense that something unusual is guiding them toward a new direction, yet remains distant enough not to recognize you among countless faces. They do not yet know exactly who you are, have never heard the full story of your life, and have not seen the quiet seasons through which you have walked. Yet, deep within themselves, they have sensed the presence of someone they cannot forget, even though the two of you may not yet have met. I am not telling you this so that you will live in waiting or search anxiously, but so that you may understand that certain encounters are prepared long before two people can recognize one another through ordinary eyes. With every passing day, even without your awareness, invisible threads are being woven, drawing the two of you closer through every experience, every lesson, and every time you choose growth instead of surrender. This person will not enter your life empty-handed. They have been given abilities, resources, and influence that may open doors you once considered far beyond your reach. Perhaps they have built a life admired by many, stand in a place the world calls successful, or possess opportunities others spend an entire lifetime trying to obtain. Yet do not allow these outward things to overwhelm you, because their greatest value is not found in what they own. What matters more is that they have experienced enough to understand that wealth cannot replace genuine harmony, status cannot purchase loyalty, and rooms filled with people can still feel cold when no one truly understands them. They are not searching for someone to complete their public image. They are searching for a presence that allows them to return to their truest self. You, through your sincerity and depth, carry something they have sought throughout a long journey but have never been able to name. There have been nights when this person looked through a window at the lights of a city, still awake, and wondered why an emptiness remained within them that nothing could fill. There were moments when they drove along familiar roads and suddenly felt as though an unknown name had passed through their mind. Their eyes have paused upon the face of a stranger in a crowd, not because they recognized you, but because they were searching for a gaze that carried a sense of familiarity. They dreamed of a voice they had never heard, a smile they had never seen, and a peace they had never touched in ordinary life. They could not understand why they continually felt that somewhere there was someone capable of entering their quiet places without demanding explanations. They searched for you not through a map or a name, but through longing for something they had never possessed. Each time they believed they had forgotten that feeling, it returned, gentle yet persistent, like a reminder that their journey was still unfinished. I stood within the turning points of both your lives, quietly preventing steps that would have come too soon and closing doors that could not lead you toward peace. Some relationships you believed would last came to an end, not because you were unworthy of love, but because those places could not protect what was growing within you. Other people came near. This person, with attractive appearances and dazzling promises, only to leave when the truth within their hearts was revealed. I did not allow the two of you to meet while you were still likely to use old wounds to injure someone new. I taught you to establish boundaries without becoming cold, and taught this person to lower the defenses built from disappointment. The meeting was not forgotten. It was simply waiting until two hearts became mature enough not to turn a gift into a battle. Every time you release what is unsuitable, you move closer to what has been prepared for you. Therefore, when I say that this awaits your agreement, I am not asking you to write a word publicly or perform an action, because you fear that the opportunity may disappear. I only want you to look honestly within and ask yourself, Are you ready to receive what is sincere? Are you prepared to stop running whenever someone treats you well? Can you open your heart while preserving discernment? Offer an opportunity without surrendering all your trust too quickly, and love without abandoning your dignity. True readiness is not found upon the lips, but within the way you leave old patterns behind. It appears when you stop believing that everyone will eventually abandon you, stop testing affection through silence, and stop diminishing yourself to keep someone close. When you express agreement through the way you live, you open a door no one else can open for you. That quiet transformation will become the clearest signal by which goodness may find its way toward you. Yet I must also tell you that in recent days, this person has come very close to closing their heart. They have become exhausted from searching for something no one around them understands. They have sat among all their achievements, while feeling as though they were standing inside an empty room. It is not that they lack people nearby. They lack someone capable of seeing beyond their strength and recognizing the exhaustion hidden underneath. They began wondering whether the profound connection they sensed was merely an illusion created by loneliness. They told themselves that perhaps it was time to accept a stable life without deep emotion, a peace without pain, but also without true vitality. They intended to close the final door within their heart, not because they no longer desired love, but because they were too weary to continue hoping and being disappointed. In that fragile moment, they needed a reason to believe that their heart had not deceived them. During one very quiet moment, this person lifted what felt like a final request. There was no loud crying and no anger, only the whisper for someone who had reached their limit. If what they felt could not become real, they would stop waiting. They would accept that profound companionship was not meant for them. They would allow their softest place to fall asleep and never touch it again. My child, I heard those words, and I also saw you on the other side of that despair. You are not responsible for rescuing them, nor must you rush into a relationship to prevent someone from giving up. But that moment revealed that both of you had approached a turning point. The other person needed to relearn that sincerity is real, while you needed to stop believing that you are too wounded to be received. When both of you cross beyond the boundary of fear, something extraordinary will have the opportunity to appear. I am not bringing you together so that one person may become the shadow of the other. I do not intend for their wealth or influence to make you feel small. Nor will I allow your pain to turn them into someone responsible for healing everything within you. A blessed relationship must carry equality in dignity, clarity in communication, and respect for every boundary. This person may open significant opportunities, but you also carry something that cannot be purchased. Sincerity, compassion, and the ability to see value beneath outward splendor. They may help change the course of your life, but you may also help them remember why they worked, built, and persevered for so many years. You are not coming together to complete one another, but to become more whole together in the way you love and serve what is good. This balance will keep the relationship from becoming distorted by power or fear. Therefore, do not run out searching for a particular face, and do not attach these words to someone merely because they possess money or status. Observe character rather than appearance, consistency rather than promises, and peace rather than allowing imagination to guide you. The right person will not keep you in continual confusion. Use what they possess to control you. or require you to sacrifice self-respect in order to remain. They will approach patiently, express themselves through action, and give you sufficient time to recognize what is true. Your responsibility is to continue preparing. Care for your life, heal the places still governed by fear, complete the work entrusted to you, and keep your heart tender without abandoning discernment. When you live fully as yourself, you will no longer fear losing anyone, because you will know that your value is not dependent upon another person's presence. I speak to you with all tenderness. You have not been forgotten, nor have you arrived too late for a beautiful encounter. What has passed does not make you less deserving. It has only made you more perceptive in recognizing genuine love. Someone has nearly stopped searching, and perhaps you too once almost stopped believing. Yet both of you are still being held before the final door. Allow hope to return, not as an intoxication that steals your reason, but as a gentle lamp helping you continue forward. When the time is ripe, you will not need to force, compete, or prove yourself. What is true will recognize what is true. That meeting will not begin with display or spectacle, but with a deep sense of peace that after years of traveling separate roads, two people have finally arrived at the right place, at the right time, with enough maturity to stop running from what they once prayed to receive.